host, Susan Lee Rose, and today I'm going to teach y'all a technique of how to make galaxies. I love painting galaxies. It's something that I do a lot of. I'm going to show you real quick a few of the samples of things where I've used the galaxies. They're really, really versatile. Here's a page that I did in one of my journals with the galaxy background, and this one as well. Make some beautiful things. This one, see if it'll show up, is one that I have done in an art journal of mine. And also in my Bibles, I have a couple of them. I've got to locate them. I should have marked them. Sorry, y'all. Y'all get to see me flipping through my Bibles. It's over here in the New Testament. Here's one where I've used it in a wide margin Bible. And as well as I have used it in my Interleaf Bible, which is probably the one I use the most. I started out with the wide margin Bible, and it really wasn't my favorite because I didn't have enough room. So I really love doing it in this Bible. So that's where I've done it. So you can see you can do it in, it's very versatile. There's lots of different ways that you can use it and be creative with it. So it's a really great technique to learn. It's also very, very easy. So what we're going to start off with is this is just a plain piece of cardstock. I painted it black already because I wanted it to be dry. I am simply using the apple barrel paints, acrylic paints that you can pick up at Walmart. They're 50 cents each, not expensive. So this is something that, you know, pretty much everybody can do. I've got some wax paper down here too. I'm actually going to turn it over so it will lay flat. But some wax paper that I use just to protect my tabletop. The colors of the apple barrel paint that we're going to be using, of course, is black. You're also going to need some white. You're going to use Admiral blue, purple pansy, bright magenta, Bimini blue, lavender sachet, and china blue. And on top of that, you're going to need just a couple of tools. You're going to need a toothbrush. Get a cheap one. This is just going to dip it in paint, so you don't need anything fancy. I get these over at Dollar Tree. I think there were like 4 in a package for $1, so these are really good ones. They don't have to be anything fancy. A sponge of some sort. Now this one came in a package I got at Hobby Lobby. It came in a package of assorted different sponges, but this one I really like. But you don't have to do anything like this. I taught a class on how to do this, and I went and just got the big car wash sponges and cut them into pieces for the people to use, and those work just as well. You're going to want another piece of just wax paper, which is what I use for my palette for the paint, because I can easily wad it up and throw it away when I'm done. So, are y'all ready to get started? This is really, really easy, I promise. Okay, so we're going to start off with the Admiral blue. And this is an open package, so let's see if I can find my scissors. Riveting TV, because I'm not prepared. See if I can get it open. There we go. All right, so I'm going to put a little bit of, can you see that? Yeah, a little bit here on the wax paper. I'm just going to take the sponge, and I'm going to dip a corner in it and just kind of dip it out so it's kind of gets a nice little coverage on the sponge. Can you see that? And then I'm just going to start covering the paper. Now what I'm going to do is generally you don't want just to do a big blob in the middle. You want to do like a little leg going up here, and you just kind of want to stretch it out across this page, because actually this page is going to end up getting cut into 4 different pieces and used in some cards that I have a little bit later I'll be doing for you. Okay, so I'm just going to go on here and just kind of just start stamping on the this Admiral blue paint. You think about how you see galaxies in, on TV, pictures of the galaxies. It's kind of spread out. And so we're putting in this dark paint. It's kind of, I always end up kind of doing an X kind of thing with some little offshoots to it. And you're just going to keep doing it till it looks about right. This is kind of the first color, the first base. So you're just going to kind of go like this, daub it on, twist it. like that. So I gotta hold it up so I can see it a little better. Okay, so now I'm going to go in. I generally go in with a dark color, then a light color, and dark color, and then a light color, and then I keep blending them together. So now I'm going to go in with the China blue. I'm just going to put a little bit right there on top of the Admiral blue, and I'm just going to be dipping in there, and I'm going to kind of go do the underside. See how I'm kind of just, it's mixing in with that blue. And we're just kind of doing the underside of the little legs. This gives it a little bit of texture, a little bit of, texture, a little bit of color differentiation. So we've got that so far. So then I'm going to go in with a darker color, and I'm going to this time go in with the purple Pansy. And be prepared, you're going to get paint all over you, but that's okay. That's part of the fun of art, is getting messy. So now I'm going to go in with the purple. And you see I'm just dipping them into just from one color to another, because you're going to really kind of start mixing these together somewhat. So I'm going to do like I'm doing, just tap it in there. And then we're just going to go on there. And you're just going to keep putting layers of paint on here. And eventually it's just going to start looking like a galaxy. I'm kind of doing it a little bit differently than I normally would do. I normally do not quite so spread out, but because I am doing I'm going to be cutting this into pieces, into quarters, I want to make sure that there's a little bit of all the colors on there. So we're going in there, and then you might dip in back in there. Say I'm dipping them in there to all of the colors, and just kind of tap it off to the side, and then just kind of, you just want to keep doing like that, this kind of dab and twist. Just like that. So you're getting the bases here going. You don't want to get too light. If it gets too light, you can put a little bit more of the darker blue on. Okay, so we've done the purple, so now we're going to go in with a little bit of the Lavender Sachet. Put a little bit over there. We don't want it to get too light, so we're just putting a little bit in there. We're just dabbing it in with these other colors, and then just go in there and just dab it on. And see, I'm moving off of my paper, so I'm getting it on my tabletop. That's okay. It's art. It's supposed to be a little messy. And you're just dabbing it on. Continue. Just dabbing it and kind of smearing it. I don't know what you call it, if there's an actual term for it or not. Okay, so we've gotten those colors. So now we're going to go in with a little bit of this Bimini blue. And I'm going to put it right here by the blue, by the Admiral blue. And we're just going to take that and just kind of start twisting it on there already. And then just and you're going to get paint on you, so that's expected. There's just no way you can do it without getting a little bit on the messy side. Okay, so it's starting to cloud those out. I try to, if there's some place that's too light, I try to go back over with a little bit of the dark. And then we're going to add a little bit of this pink, which is bright magenta. We don't want to add a whole bunch of this, just a little bit. Get it to come out. Really, that's about all you need on that. Because we're going to go back in with some of the Admiral blue here in a little bit. But if you look at the Galaxies, you think about it, it's just kind of, when you see pictures of it, there's so many different colors that you wouldn't think about being in, the Galaxy. You think it's dark, but there's so many colors, and the stars and all the different things to see. It's really a very colorful place, more so than you would ever think. Now, so you can see where it's going like that. Okay, so I'm going to go back in with just a little bit more of the Admiral blue, because I think it needs to be darkened up just a little bit. So I'm just going to go in here and just see how I'm going my sponge through all of the colors at this point, and just kind of twisting it. We're just going to do the same thing. We don't want to get too dark. We don't want to get too light. This one's, like I said, it's going to be cut into 4 different pieces. And you're just kind of doing the twisty thing, rubbing it in, you know, just blending it in really good is what you're doing. And you get this nice little universe kind of thing going on. So let me hold that up so I can see it through the light. That's actually pretty good. There's a couple of places like right there I think needs to be darkened up, and right there. Right there. Okay. So we've got the basis of our galaxy down. So now we just need to add the stars, and adding the stars is very, very simple. Everything I do here is pretty much simple because I'm not an artist. I mean, I'm not trained in any of this. It's just stuff that I've picked up along the way. I have a really good friend. Her name's Katie Smith, and she does the most beautiful galaxies. She does watercolor, and she uses like the Tombow brush pens and all kinds of different things. And she makes these beautiful galaxies. Well, mine are just kind of, I've looked at a couple of tutorials and I've decided, well, this is how I'm going to do it. And it's just kind of my own little take on a galaxy. So we're going to put in the white paint. Then you're going to take the toothbrush, and you're going to get a little messy, y'all. So you're going to put the toothbrush in there, and then you're going to take it like this. Can you see it? And you're just going to start adding some stars. It's just speckling the paper, but it's adding some stars to the paper. Now I don't want to go too much, because sometimes I've gone in the past where I've gotten way too much stars. So you kind of just want to do like this, and you know, just finger it on there like this over the brush. And that's actually pretty good. I want a little bit more in this corner here. And kind of aim it to where you want it to be. Now, what I usually do now is if I wanted to draw some bigger stars, I would go in there with a white pen and draw some bigger stars. But because I'm going to be cutting this up into quarters, I don't want to do that right now. I'm going to wait till this fully dries, I've cut it, and then I'll add some whatever stars I want to add to it at that point. But now you see we have a beautiful little galaxy. It didn't take any real time to do. It's really quick, it's easy, it's very, very versatile. I'm going to be doing 2 cards with it this week, and one will be on Thursday and one will be on Friday. We're going to do some little not tutorials, but we'll do like a process video where you'll see how I'm going to use this. One of them is going to be a cute little astronaut card, and one of them is going to be a pretty one with some trees. So that's where we're at. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope this made sense to you, and I hope that you learned something. And I hope that you'll come by and like my YouTube page and like my blog. It's gracejournaling.com. Follow me on Facebook, Grace Journaling, and on Instagram. And that is all I have. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks. Bye-bye.